Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the best mods of the week in Baldur's Gate 3's Mod Manager. I released my 5th subclass mod this week with the Wild Spring Barbarian plus the Nature's Rage weapon pack. We also got some huge mods like the ability to skip Act 1 going straight to Act 2 and also skip the Nautiloid. And there was a huge update to the Treehome mod, which is where we're at right now, and actually a massive breakthrough in modding by May here. We also have some incredible armor and weapons. This Heartstring musical bow is super cool. And also mods that are going to be changing some of the content in the game, like Be Nice to Wyll and No Emperor Romance. This is a huge week, and I can't wait to dive right in. So the Wild Spring Barbarian, following up my Winter Spirit Bard here, we're moving seasons into springtime here. This is a Barbarian that has a lot of different options when it comes to combat, and here are the 10 different weapons that are included with the mod. It also has angry chickens included in the 5 different summons, and there's also a Flumph here, and what's cool about this is that the Flumph is like kind of a secret little summon that's in Baldur's Gate 3. Only the Wild Magic Barbarian gets them and they just explode. This one is actually a real summon here. It does have obviously some limitations, like it just freezes up there, but yeah, you can play alongside a Flumph. It has full support for other barbarian mods, goes all the way up to level 20. You can play with large bunnies, chickens, and even badgers, and yeah, it's just a blast to play. The whole purpose of the class is to use the rabbit dash there to jump up to high places, and then using diving strike to just jump down and smash. And that was footage from my live stream earlier today. I was playing with it, but you get the Wild Magic Rage here. And the whole gameplay loop is using like the rabbit dash. Now it has an earlier gameplay and late game, which is a little bit different. But with this, you get the double movement speed for like a dash and unlimited amounts of jumps. You can use your jump without consuming a bonus action. And the thought is to jump up really high on top of a building, kick somebody off it, and then use the wild dive here to just dive down and attack them. We also have, for fans of Divinity Original Sin 2, a battering ram attack. This is a lot of like greatest hits from different barbarian classes, and we can also entangle, and you can use this outside of combat because it lasts for 5 turns, so you can set up a bit of like nature around. Level 4 gives you the immunity to fall damage, speak with animals, and the 5 different summons. And one of the summons is a giant chicken. Now, I originally had this chicken much larger than it is right here, but it had trouble fitting through doorways. Its head will also get twisted for whatever reason. And I wanted to use bunnies for a while, but you can now play as a bunny, and it actually will fight in combat, and it can do a little bit of crowd control, and it glows. And there's also a large squirrel here, and yeah, it also glows too. Level 5 gives the Mighty Impel, similar to the Giant Barbarian, so you can start throwing people around. This is where things get a little bit crazy with it. Level 6 gives you the Grasping Briars, which pulls enemies closer. You can knock them prone with Rain Lash, or you can set up your casters with Spring Shower. You can also use Cloud Strike here to attack with your bow. Level 9 gets Whirlwind Attack, which fits perfectly because you jump in, you cleave the back line, and it has some nature theming to it. And level 11 is where this all comes together. You get Gaia's Fury. Now, the thought process was, I wanted to, like, this originally started as the Rabbit Heart Barbarian. It was kind of like a Easter theme, and my thoughts were to give you the unlimited jumps, removing the bonus action requirement, so you can jump around dealing damage as you land. So you get this toggleable passive feature. I thought about giving it earlier, but it is really strong because you can just spam your jumps. But in addition to this, you can also set up like some tower defense style defense with the earth blending here. This is Wall of Stone, which normally is annoying to use a level 5 spell slot, but you can use this unlimited amount of times, and it just creates a barrier for your team to work around. Also, Nature's Grasp here, Grasping Vine, and the Wild Growth, which is just plant growth with a different name, so you can fully control a battlefield before you even get into a fight. And then at level 12, you get Bunny Hop here, which will triple your jump distance, which lets you go even further. It's actually crazy. At level 14, I give the Elemental Cleaver, similar to the Giant Barbarian, but only the Thunder version. And then at levels 15 and 20, you get an additional bonus action, because this class, it sounds like you get a lot, but you're limited to your bonus action, which is used to rage. Now, I skipped on some abilities for the sake of time, but I was very proud that I was able to leave the other Barbarian subclasses as being the better version of what they do, while giving this one like a greatest hits. And I am working on 2 more subclass mods currently at the moment, and will be not using summons, so they should come out a little bit sooner, because this one did take a couple of months of hard work to put together. But we're moving on here to Skip Act 1. This mod here by May is massive, because I get comments all the time being like, I just want to go straight to Act 2 and get in with the game. But what this one here does is it sets you into Act 2. There are many questions that it'll ask you, and you'll get 50 gold to start at level 5. There are 21 different pop-up questions, and you can recruit a combination of any characters that you want here. And this is huge because you can just pause and read the features here if you want to, but it's going to make sure that all like the quest logs and things that you want, like for rescuing the tieflings and such, based on your questions, will happen. You can also choose to start in the Mountain Pass or the Underdark. You can get tadpole powers. There's also pre-made gear presets that you can use that are based on gear that you find throughout the game. You get Withers and Scratch, and you can choose if you want Volo and the Owlbear Cub as well. You'll have all your allies preserved for the finale, and companion story quests stay intact, so like Karlach's first heart repair, and etc. And you also get the very iconic items like the Blooded Lathander, and more importantly, Scratch's Ball. There are a lot of details to this mod, and they're working on updating it because obviously a mod of this scale, which changes a lot of quest logs, has a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So they do want any feedback, and you must be using the latest release for that to, if you have any feedback on that. So skip Act 1. Another huge breakthrough also by 4K. This is huge. The Treehome player housing has a huge update. Now this is a mod that I posted about back in July of last year whenever we released it. I love this mod. It is seriously so cool, but it just had some issues with the way that the game handles you leaving a zone, such as Act 1, which you would want to like to get the Treehome here. I'll give you guys a little tour of my MTV cribs here. I think this is beautiful. The lighting in here is a little bit different too. Like if you look a little more tanned, it's really sweet. You got the chest in this area here, and you got this nice view, and you can even come out the backside here, and you can go down by the river. So yeah, this is really sweet. I like these different type of zones. That's why I'm typically in them for these type of videos. And again, speaking of Divinity Original Sin 2, there is a Portrait of Lohse here too. But yeah, major update, no longer having issues going from the treehouse and back. A major first of its kind achievement, and this is using their Safe Travels mod. 4K has been putting out a lot of really interesting and useful mods, like a couple weeks back, the Colors mod, adding new rarities to the game, Safe Travels, moving your camps mod, choosing your camps, endless amounts of amazing mods. Next up, the Moon haunts you. This is the Moon Knight armor. Available for body types 1 through 4 and Dragonborn. It's not Moon Knight from like Marvel, but looks amazing. And I'm really happy to see more armors for like Dragonborn and large body types like Minsk here. Dark Knight looking, but it has the luminous armor benefits here, which I think are really fun. It also gives you things like the gloves of dexterity and also reverberation. So some of my favorite items in the game all condensed into this amazing looking armor. And speaking of amazing looking pieces, we got the Heartstrings, a musical bow for all by Callie Sins. Now, this is gorgeous and perfect if you're playing with my Winter Spirit Bard, because they got a cold damage version of this bow and it's musical. That is the large bow that you saw in my character here, and actually something interesting I learned from this mod. In a nutshell, without dragging it down too much, Drow and Elves have different animations, and for some reason in the game, they don't end up using their proper animation, so this one changes that for Elves and Drow. So there's a female and a male chest here that has that perfected. So this doesn't apply to half elves, as they're more like human in that regard. But you can see here, they got so many different types of this, depending on what type of additional elemental damage. Whenever you have advantage, it'll give you that. It also gives you Perish Song. I'm a big fan of Pokemon competitive play, and that's a powerful ability. This one just gives Frightened in a huge area of effect while also dealing damage. I love the look of these, I like the abilities, and I like that I learned something too. This is an amazing mod. Heartstrings, a musical bow for all. Next up, we got Be Nice to Wyll in-game mod manager version by Magna Tuning. There's also a Nexus mod version, and this is something that I've noticed. For whatever reason, dialogue towards Wyll is oftentimes very like rough, and I'm not sure why. For example, top option there, you were disowned, there must be more to the story. This one's changed, says you were disowned, I won't push you, but there must be more to the story. Also, the second option, you basically just like, tell me everything. And this one makes it much better. I wish you wouldn't hide things like this. Well, we need to trust each other, and neither of us can afford to keep secrets anymore. I like these changes because, yeah, for whatever reason, like I'll just go through these here. You can pause them and read if you want. It's just much more caring and less like blunt and direct and rude to Wyll. So, yeah, I love these different types of mod. It doesn't end up changing the outcome of the dialogue. It just makes your choices feel less abrasive towards him. So, yeah, this is an awesome mod, and another great one here by Magna Tuning. One of the few achievements I do not have in Baldur's Gate 3 is the Emperor Romance. This mod just doesn't let him try to sneak his way in. The No Emperor Romance by Kobold Juno removes the flags from his romance from happening. And yeah, no one invited you, bro. And next up, we have Daisy's Headband here from Barry Semifreddo. This is based on The Great Gatsby. And I gotta say, this looks amazing, and it has very slight little physics there to it as well, giving it a very lifelike touch. This comes in the Daisy Headband pouch, and there are different versions for characters that have different hair. It's gonna have one that's either on the left or right hand side. Here's a larger band version on Shadowheart, and you can see it goes around her hair perfectly there. So this is nice. It's a small detail, and I think it looks really great. There's not a lot of headbands in this game I like, but I love this one by Barry Semifreddo. Next up, we have classes. This one I know a lot of people are really excited for, but even if you don't like a Devil May Cry, Sons of Sparda is still very interesting. Now, this is a class mod that deserves its own video because it is quite large, but every time you attack or get attacked, you're building up your Devil Trigger, which lets you transform here, getting additional attacks, and restore 10 of this whenever you kill an enemy, and every time you hit an enemy, you get 5 of these with a ranged weapon or melee attack. And you got a style rank here. You start at D style rank, and as you attack and gain your Devil Trigger here, this will go up and up. There is a lot to cover in this mod. I will likely be doing a future video on this one, breaking it down, just because there's so much going on. It's amazing, and yeah. Some people may recognize this weapon that you get with it. It also comes with a bunch of items and even Dante's cowboy hat here, so yeah. Check this mod out by Super Vertigo 123. Next, we got the Oath of Resistance Paladin subclass by Tricaliber_OG. This subclass is the ultimate protection paladin, and it's also got a stealthy twist, kind of like a trickery domain cleric, but way better. So with this one here, I like that they have this all laid out in the abilities that you get at levels 1, 3, and 7 here. You have your rebel tactics. You have a choice between the leader or the recruit, which lets you hide with your teammates, which is obviously like a very protective way to like hide them. It also adds in unique clouds to this as well. You got an aura that's going to give your teammates advantage on their stealth checks, dark vision, and create a light haze around them as well. This is a really fun twist in the Paladin because you got abilities to like buff up your teammates, protect them, and obviously being a Paladin, you got your own strengths too. This is a nice follow-up to their Ethereal Warlock and the Way of the Jungle Monk. Now, Super Vertigo 123 has been having a hell of a week. We also got the Red Mage Final Fantasy homebrew class here, and this one is a adaptation by Brian Blackwood. Not just that, we also got the Black Mage Final Fantasy 14 inspired class. They also released a Keyblade Wielder class this week too. There's a lot of amazing stuff here, and these are fun adaptations. With the Red Mage, you get mana here that you're using to cast your abilities. You got either the white mana or black mana, which will do different things. This will also depend on the spells that you're using, have additional effects. And here is a large list of the different spells that you get from this. You also get the extra attack ability, and this is another mod that is just so incredibly large that I'll be doing a separate video where I break this down in a little bit more detail. Same thing with the Black Mage, because this is just so incredible to see. This is more of like your typical like sorcerer type caster getting different elemental effects. You got the elemental aspects here, and you can switch between your Astrofire or Umbral Ice forms here. And yeah, there is a lot of stuff going on with these incredible mods. So yeah, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go over all of it, but 2 incredible casters. The Red Mage is more so if you like a Gish style build with like some weapon attacks alongside using your magic. And the Black Mage is the more traditional caster like experience. It's been a crazy week for class mods, not subclasses, but classes. We've got some incredibly large mods like this Undead Class mod here. Now, the kit bashing of the icons here is amazing. I love the looks of these. They're all unique. They get the point across, and they're using stuff that Larian's already used, and it just looks really nice. But there are 3 subclasses that come with this. You got the Lich, the Revenant, and the Reaper. So you can imagine there's a lot of stuff going on with these classes. You also build up resources, and then you can absorb them to do a little bit more power with them. Large spell list here. That's the Lich class. The Reaper is more of like a melee focused one, having that Harvest Strike, and you got the Reaper Scythe here doing a bonus action attack, or you can create the weapon with a bonus action. And the Revenant's more tanky of a class, getting an additional Constitution modifier for hit points, and they'll regain health over time. Again, this is another huge mod, so expect a video probably later this week or the following, breaking these down in detail. We also got the Crimson Dynasty Sorcerer subclass here by Dog Priest. Can't get enough blood magic type classes here. This comes with the Blood Bolt, and this is actually an adaptation, I should mention, of Legend of Vantress, the Crooked Moon, a folk horror 5e supplement for Baldur's Gate 3, or for D&D and Baldur's Gate 3 now. Here's a list of all the abilities, another really large one, and if you like blood-themed classes, this is actually perfect for you. I love the high risk, high reward. You can damage yourself, deal damage to the enemies, and even has a bit of healing with the infusions and things like that. So interesting and fun one. You can also choose your dialogue tags here depending on which you want to include. I like when mods include that. This mod here by Dog Priest. Next up we have Ghost Hairs. Now this is 2 different styles of hair by Mooch30 here, and they look really nice. So let's go over the 2 of them. There's a more fluffy one and the original there. So those are the 2 that get included with this mod. There's no physics, but it does work with highlights and it looks really nice. We also got some equipment mods here, like the NAERYS Ignis by NAERYS. Models and textures by Fifi Cool Yellow. Now, this comes with a few different pieces of armor here. It looks amazing. So this is one of them, the Embrace. And here's what we're working with. I really like the way that the metal lies on this too. So yeah, this is another amazing outfit mod here. And I recommend just searching up NAERYS here because they got a lot of great selections of armor. Now we got an awesome photo mode pose pack with Charlie's Angels poses by Echo_20. They actually shared this on my Discord server earlier today. Amazing work. I love the different photo mode poses out there because you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. So let's go through some of their shots here because I think they did an incredible job of showcasing what this is all about. Spooky, scary skeletons. I love it. And yeah, it has the iconic poses there. So yeah, this is great. Especially if you're playing with friends or if you're playing solo, you can go and take some awesome shots with this. And here's a list of all the different poses that you got. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And they even have the 2019 poses as well here. Finger guns too. And yeah, I'm always a big fan of photo mode pose packs. Next, we got the Prelude to Divinity by Gabe Camo Mescro. Now, this is a refining of their previous mods all in one pack here. So you have character transmogs, loot randomizer, the companion AI, which you can toggle, enemy leveling, enemy classes, which will revamp how they work, and combat enhancements. This is an all-in-one mod, and they're trying to keep the code to a minimum so that in the future they could add this to Divinity. It'd be really nice, and I hope that there is a modding toolkit similar to the one for Baldur's Gate 3 so that we can continue to make amazing mods and support the game as it continues to age, like Baldur's Gate 3. Next, we're getting into Nexus mods. There's actually some massive ones. This one actually released right around the time that I did a video last weekend. The Ray CC Universal Automatic Patcher. This mod made by Volatio simplifies things because typically you'd have to use other mods to combine, like if you're playing with a different race, like the new Yuan-Ti, and you wanted to include like horns or things. It wouldn't include it because the horns weren't listed under that custom race. This fixes it. It's an automatic universal patcher. So any type of new race that gets released in the future, if you're using this, you'll have all the different options that you could want. Simple, straightforward, and works very well. Next we got, look at this photograph by Magnituding here. This unlocks dialogue that Isabel had, I actually didn't even know was in the game, where she makes you nickel back, look at his photograph. Now this is a really cool piece of lore where she actually shows you a picture of Ketherick here before he turned. You don't get this if you don't, like, if you didn't meet her before you had the Marcus fight. That's the only way you can have this, and that's kind of a hard thing to get to do properly. So look at this graph. Unlocks dialogue that you may want to see and you probably never had before because I even had no idea about it. We also got, you probably noticed this on my character, Little Frog Friend here by Grace455. It gives you a helmet that puts this little frog on your head. It's cute, and yeah, it gives you speak with animals, and you get Frog Leap. You can cast the Enhanced Leap spell without expending a spell slot, meaning this works perfectly if you want to pair with my new Barbarian subclass, because they get that ability at level 12. If you want to start the game with this little frog on your head and get some Enhanced Leaps, go right ahead. I think it's a great idea. Also, it just looks really cute too. I like that little frog. So yeah, this is pretty fun. Exactly what modding is all about. Now, this next mod, Hunted Dynamic Ambushes and Revenge Systems by Verkati. This is incredible looking. I haven't had a chance with making my mod and a bunch of other things going on in my life. Wasn't able to give this a shot, but what this does is, as you go into hostile territory and fight, there's a chance that you may end up having new combat encounters entirely. This is another video I'll probably end up doing a video on because it's kind of like Trials of Tav. It's got the mod configuration menu so you can adjust what you want with this mod. Adding in ambushes, and it depends on the creature type retaliation. They go from worry to hostile to vengeful, and they'll come out after you. World kills will add pressure. It'll react to your region, party size, party level, and enemy type. Champion retaliation for vengeful creature types. There's also different rewards you can configure with the mod configuration menu. So basically, as you keep killing a certain type of enemy, they remember that, and they'll come back after you as you rest. And there's different presets alongside as well. Massive mod. I just want to give it more testing before I go in an in-depth video and showcase it, but from what I've seen so far, this looks really interesting. Now we're getting into some head mods here. We got LMDR's Trio Head Pack by LMDR, and this one comes with 3 amazing heads for body type 1 humans, elves, and drow, and tieflings. So this is the first one here that is Cameron, and we also have the Saoirse head here. So yeah, very nice. I was actually going to use this one for this video. I think I like this one quite a bit. And we also got Sylvie. So 3 different heads, and they're much different from ones that I've used before. I think that they're really nice, and this is great because we also got another head mod here, Foxey Lady head preset by Sweet Generous Thing. So this adds in similar to some of their other head mods. You got the regular version and you got the Foxy with fangs. So depending if you want to go with a more vampiric appearance, you can go ahead with either of these. We also got the Familiars Poses by Catty Plays. This adds in, I think, some really sweet ones, because with most of my mods, I like to add in different things like cats and dogs, and this just adds in poses that you can do with things like tressums and birds, winged beasts, and different pets. It's nice to see more mods being made for some of the different creatures and things like this. And yeah, these shots are just adorable. So yeah, even little pocket dragons. That is the Familiars Poses. So yeah, another amazing week for Baldur's Gate 3 mods. Go check out the Wild Spring Barbarian and Nature Rage weapon pack. Let me know your thoughts. I'm always looking to improve on these mods, and I do have future updates planned for all my previous ones as I learn and optimize my mods as I get better at doing it. So let me know your thoughts, hit the subscribe button below, and I hope you guys all have an amazing day.